Hey guys, this is Red and Blue, the channel on YouTube for all things PSG in English. Please subscribe. Today, let's talk about the games that just ended. PSG got the win against RC Lens 2-0 in Parc des Princes in the fourth game of the Ligue 1 season. Lots of good things to take away from this game, a few bad things as well. So I'm just going to go through it very quickly and kind of chat through the key points and the things that struck me as I was watching the game. PSG gets the win, so that's everything that we wanted from this game. I had said 2-0 actually, so it's 2-0. Very happy with that. Barcola strikes twice, the lightning, with two incredible shots, both from outside the area. The first one lodging itself in the top right corner of the Lens goal. Second one, like right next to the post, perfectly placed, also from outside the area. And I think in general, the contribution of Barcola, I mean, I did a video like a couple of days ago saying with the injuries, it was really time for Barcola to show that he was ready to reach the next level. Boy, did he show that tonight. In every action that he got, like every time he gets the ball, you can feel that something can happen. Of course, not everything is perfect. It took a little bit of time for him to get in the game. His first couple of passes, like easily got intercepted by Lens defenders. And then a few times in the game, he loses the ball, like his dribble doesn't go through, like stuff like this happens and it's completely fine. But just in general, you can see as soon as he gets the ball into his feet and as soon as he's got like 1 or 2 meters in front of him to start something, yeah, you can see the defenders are on their back foot. You can see they're like worried and like you can see 2-3 players dropping into his area to make sure that they're ready for everything. And like the two goals that he scores, ultimately, like there's a lot of similarities in the sense that it's exactly what I'm saying. It's two situations where he finds himself with a goal, with the ball, with a few meters of open space in front of him and the ability to move forward and really like get himself into the right position. And both times he managed just to get the shot away just as the defenders are coming onto him. And I think both times he finds like exactly the right place in terms of placing his shot. So very, very clinical finishing. And it's funny because the interviews after the game, the Lens players were saying exactly that. They were a bit disgruntled. They were saying like, ultimately like PSG didn't create that much, but like, they get close to our area twice and they score twice. And like, they can't really do anything on both of these goals. Ultimately, it's just pure talent. So big game for Barcola. He comes off as well at the 70th minute. So, he doesn't play the full 90. Can get a bit of time on the bench, rest himself, and he'll be back. He'll be back against Atalanta in 3 days, because like that's the second takeaway of the night. Is that injury crisis is not getting better. So we had 3 players come out injured this game. We had Kvara in the first half, who picked up on a knock like very, very early on the 3rd minute. And you can see like he gets a gash on his ankle. He keeps playing, like they put some cream on it. He like gets back up, like wobbles around, and he plays on it for like 20-25 minutes. Then there's a second tackle that like comes to the same spot, and like that's the point where he goes like, yeah, no, like let's not be silly. Let's just like back out. He walks off the pitch, and there's no footage of an ankle twisting. There's no footage of a massive shock or anything like this. So I think we like I'm touching wood, but we might like there's hope that this weight might be just a knock and not like something too serious. Obviously, we'll have to see in coming days. But it felt to me like when he comes off, it does feel like more out of an abundance of caution rather than like a player who's clearly gonna be out for a while. So I'm touching wood as I say this, like let's hope for the best. He was actually like I thought he was like relatively interesting. He played on the right of the attack. Barcola was on the left because like I think we were questioning which one of the two would actually move to the other side. So Kvara was the one on the right, and I thought like he was actually interesting in combining with Hakimi. Hakimi being very high up in the pitch. Kvara was coming back down and playing like in between midfield and attack a little bit, pressing a lot, really contributing defensively, having some interesting like passes as well. From deeper in the pitch, so yeah, I thought like he had a like, and considering he had a knock early on, obviously, like it was clear from the start he wasn't 100% at its best after that knock. But yeah, like I felt like he was having a decently good game, so it was a bit of a shame to see him come off. That said, like yeah, let's hope for the best. Second one that got out injured, Kang In Lee, who I think around the 60th minute or so in the second half. Maybe a bit earlier, like maybe 55th or like something like this, but like, kind of relatively early on in the second half. Yeah, same thing, like weird stuff. He ends up on the ground, like mostly on his own. So he takes a shot from far, like from outside the area, and just he lands back on his ankle, and like it feels like he lands back a little bit heavy on the ankle. And there's no, like, once again, there's no visible twist, there's no like visible shock, like, but yeah, like the landing looks a bit heavy, and so you wonder if, like, at this point is like, ooh, that's like, that doesn't feel too good. Let me just like be careful. Same thing as Kvara. He walks off the pitch. He doesn't look like too bad or anything. So I'll also touch on wood for him. Obviously a bit less than for Kvara, but like touch on wood as well. And hopefully it's nothing serious, and he can also be back in the squad, I think, for Atalanta or for Marseille. And then the third one, which I think ultimately like might be the worst of the three, Lucas Beraldo, our central defender, 70th minute, is fighting for the ball with a Lens attacker, and he lands back in an awkward position on his ankle. And this one, you do see like the ankle twisting a little bit as he lands on it. So that's a bit worrisome. It doesn't look like a huge one, but at the same time, like straight away, like they go, and it happens like right in front of the PSG bench and Luis Enrique and so on. Straight away they go like, yeah, replacement, and like the player like looks in a fair amount of pain, comes off on the stretcher. So yes, this one would be more worrisome. If there really was a torsion of the ankle, typically that's at least 1 month off. It's Beraldo, so it's not the end of the world. We've got depth in defense, and like, it's not the place of the team where we're hardest hit at the moment. But yeah, it didn't look great, and hopefully it's not as serious as it looked. It can go either way. Sometimes like it looks and feels worse than what it actually is. Sometimes like, it gets confirmed, and it's if there's torsion, if something pulled as well, like it can easily get worse. So we'll have to see. We'll probably have more news in a matter of 48 hours, because they need the ankle to settle back down, so to go cool and like kind of, because it will get swollen right after, to swell back down to normal size before they can get a good look at what's happening. So Beraldo, like, I think definitely off for Atalanta, probably for Marseille as well, and then we'll have to see after that, depending on what results we get from medical tests. So yeah, PSG, like, injury crisis deepening. The worrisome part is really in attack, because if Kvara and or Lee are out for a meaningful amount of time, we're starting to be a bit short. Mbaye played he replaced Kvara, so he played about 60 minutes, I would say. Kind of awkward at the beginning. He got like, you can see he got a little bit liberated throughout the game, and I think at the end he was like contributing a lot more. obviously there was also more space because Lens was 2-0 down and they were trying to make something happen. But you can see he was getting into the rhythm of it a little bit more. So hopefully, like, I think he's going, like, I mean, given injury, even if it's only like Doué and Dembele, like it's already 2 injuries in attack. So like a player like Mbaye is bound to get more playing time because of it. So it's great if he can, build up his confidence. I think for me, it's one of the things that a lot of people, myself included, have taken note of, is that so far, like every time we've seen him play, it's really a confidence game with it. And like if he manages to succeed in the first like 1-2 things that he tries on the pitch, then he can have a good game. If those first 2 things fail, then he starts doubting itself, and yeah, it's not as interesting from Mbaye. So it'd be great to see him, accumulate a little bit more confidence in himself, get a better sense of what that level looks like, what Ligue 1 looks like, and what's expected of him. Because I still do believe he's got some skills to show on the pitch. And yeah, beyond that, Mayulu was back, so that's also another option. But yeah, we're talking like academy kids, like youngsters. Mayulu obviously is a bit more advanced than Mbaye, but yeah, and Ramos, who did the full game. Yeah, like it's funny, just such a mixed bag with him. Obviously, he doesn't score, so that's a big negative because he's a number 9, and every time he doesn't contribute, statistically speaking, it's not going to be a good game for him. That's the end of it. At the same time, like, there were places in the first half where I was like, oh, it's interesting because, he's calling for the balls in ways that aren't really like usual for us. He was really trying to like find space at the back of the defense, in between players, kind of like laying low for a while so they forget about him, and then like offering solutions and so on. At the same time, like, he gets a yellow card on like a stupid like dive, trying to get a penalty. He also like he fouls a player on a counter attack at the end of the game in a way that's like, and yeah, but like at the same time he does a cool like heel flick at the really like tail end of the first half, which would have been an amazing goal if it went past. He has a great opportunity as well on a cross from Mbaye at the end of the second one. So he does have his moment where he contributes, where he brings in something a little bit different, but he needs to sink it in. He needs to score. That's what's expected of him. And yeah, he needs to be like a little bit more. I don't want to say mature because it feels like the wrong word to use, but a little more level-headed and a little bit like more intelligent in terms of how he contributes, and just like take out like those little rough parts of his game, which were really on display today, is what I felt. And then, like, last thing I wanted to mention as well, I don't know about you guys, but I thought Warren Zaire Emery had an excellent game. Excellent game. Obviously, he was in midfield, so it's his position, and I know it's like when he covers for Hakimi is when it's harder for him. But honestly, like, in midfield, he was everywhere. He was physical. He got plenty of balls back. We were having trouble like winning the one-on-ones, like duels and stuff. Warren Zaire really contributed. He helped Vitinha beat the press. He dropped back to Vitinha's level, go back up, go left, right, cover, like really like impressive. And it really felt like the Warren Zaire of old. So I was really happy to see it. I think it's been like slightly undervalued by a lot of fans since the Club World Cup. I think the Club World Cup, he did actually a lot better than most people were saying and talking about. And I think like early on in this season, he's also a player who like he came back pretty sharp physically. Obviously, he's young and he hasn't played as much last season, so it definitely helps. But you can see that he's sharp, he's ready for it, he's hungry for it as well. And yeah, I thought he did really well today. So let me know if you thought the same, because with Warren Zaire Emery, like there's always going to be different opinions. But yeah, I think for me, like those were the key points of the game. Honestly, in the end, like not the best game in the history of PSG. It did feel like, that game after the international break, that game before the Champions League, that game that gets played at 5 in the afternoon instead of in the evening. It's really like combining. We've got injured players, we've got players who aren't in full fitness. It was really combining a lot of things which tend to make things more complicated for us. We got the win, we got the 2-0. Hopefully, like the injured player, it will be better than what we can fear. And yeah, 4 games in Ligue 1, 4 wins. Can't really ask for much more than that, at the end of the day. It's like, yeah, it wasn't the best game ever. Yes, like Lens actually, like I thought Lens was interesting because he really tried stuff. Tovin was, I think, at a pretty impressive level, honestly. Even higher than I was expecting him, and I had said like he's really the main danger from Lens. Hudson Edouard, like all TT, once he settles in, it was his first game with Lens, but once he settles in, you definitely can see how much he can add to their line of attack. Thomasson was, had a really good game in midfield as well. So they were like, I thought Lens was actually like pretty decent and a bit better than I was expecting them to be, honestly. So I'll take the win. 2-0, it's a good win. We'll take it. We'll move on. Champions League and Atalanta is right around the corner. So we can focus on that now and then like go to Marseille and kick Marseille's butt all over the place. So anyway, that was it for me for this PSG RC Lens. Barcola strikes twice, and that's really what we need to remember. Let me know what you thought of the game in the comment. Let me know what you thought of Zaire Emery's game. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And, I'll see you guys in the next few days to start talking about Champions League and, play that little music that we love so much. And in any case, ici c'est Paris!